So basically, what I'm saying is that negatively or positively, you are always in control. If you submit your control to someone else, that might be a better situation for you, or it might be worse. But you
Mm.
are always in control, even when you submit your control to someone else. You in control when you in prison because you're like, I ain't gonna sock this nigga. I'm trying to go home tomorrow. You just controlled yourself. See what I'm saying?
Right. And that that leads to the very next variable, which is purpose, bro. I'm talking about it directly dove into purpose because when you have a purpose and your purpose is bigger than your purpose can be bigger than anything that anybody has brought up against you to sway your answers or questions or whatever. And I mean, like you said, nigga locked up and he like, shit, I'm not gonna stop the nigga. My purpose is to go home. I have a purpose to fulfill. Like I gotta go home. So the purpose will help you keep in control. Your purpose will help curve your addiction. Because if I got a purpose, my purpose, like today, man, I gotta goddamn, get this paperwork in order. I gotta make sure that these bills are mapped out. I gotta make sure my purpose is gonna overwhelm my cell phone addiction. My purpose is gonna overwhelm any control that anybody wants to have over me. Like even I'm in Atlanta, so women tend to
So
have a certain control down here. What you say?
yeah. I was going to talk about deceptive intelligence and how we trick ourselves into still being controlled by the same things that we're trying to break out of. So like for instance, right? The other day, and I'm gonna give you a perfect example because I just fell for this shit. The other day, I told myself, damn, I do need to make a couple dollars door dashing. I haven't hit the field, right? And I need a couple dollars. I said, yo, what if I door dashed all night? I would probably make more money that way. So I said, damn, how the fuck I'm gonna stay up all night? Mind you, I'm supposed to be staying away from drugs, right? I said, how am I gonna stay up all night? What type of substance would make me do that? I smoke weed every day. That shit gonna make me sleepy. But I'm dead like $0 and I need to make the money now, right? All I got is like, I probably had like $40. So what do? I go get an eighth and I go get a bomb. For people that don't know what a bomb is, that's an ecstasy pill. Ecstasy pill will keep you up for hours on hours on hours. So I literally dashed all night, bro. I dashed from like 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. I get home, do my thug thizzle, and the next day happens. The next day happens, and my content suffers from that. My social media suffer from that because now I'm too tired to do the shit that I would normally do on a regular day. All for $140? Like, was it really worth it? So you see how I tricked myself into doing the shit that I said I wasn't doing anyway in order to fulfill my purpose? My purpose was to get the money. So we got to be careful when we talking about addiction and purpose because our deceptive intelligence, our logical rationalization of something will have us doing the same shit that we initially were trying to break out of in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Right. But see that's where purpose comes in because if there is an addiction that you and a lot of people, like I said, a lot of us don't even know what our addictions really are because if we did, we'll have because our addictions don't defeat us. We allow our addictions to overwhelm us because we are ultimately in control, as you said. So when your purpose is, let's just say, shit, anything, your purpose really, like King God said, his purpose is to fulfill the word of God. You know what I'm saying? That purpose, what addiction can really slow down a targeted purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because addiction is something that really pulls your attention away from what it is that you're trying to do. Such as
But I feel like in his, not to cut you off, but in his case, his purpose is his addiction.
he did correct. Right, right. So would you say that you can use an addiction for your purpose?
It all depends on which addiction that we talking about. So like if my purpose is to educate people on cannabinoids and tell them how cannabis is actually good for you, but also touch on the detrimental facts if it's because it exists.
Hold on, because I don't like people put words in my mouth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Omar, you just said addiction, so I just did an example of an addiction, but that's not that's not it. You know what I mean? It goes right back to purpose, right? What are you here for? Who are you, right? These things are valuable that most people don't tackle. Like nobody comes in this world don't truly know who they are and speak a certain way or try to fit in what they see because human beings are very influential. But when you could find your way out of that and bring a light to what's not here, right? Because when you come in this world, you don't come to do what everybody else do. You got to see something different. Today has been done already. Find the people that's doing something that's never been done. Then you're gonna find purpose.
I mean, let it be done. I think I would even say that is one of life's purpose is to get with like-minded people and create something new.
Absolutely. I can't see us all doing the same thing over and over. Every generation is regurgitating the previous generation stuff. No one stepped out of the box really and truly. Nobody's challenging this life. Like everybody's just going with the flow, trying to fit in what they think they're comfortable doing. Because again, when we look at the world today, what is it driven by? Money. Everybody wants money. It's like money is more valuable than a person. When a person is more valuable than anything in the earth. Because without that person, nothing would have been created.
Exactly.
Right.
Without that person, it wouldn't even be nothing to measure the value for. Like what would we even need value for if it wasn't to give it to a person? You feel me? So yeah, you're absolutely right. People, we are the biggest currency, but like you said, we run by the fiat currency.
Correct, but then still an example that we all know. Everyone knows the word, right? Everyone knows there's things that must be done for this world to line up in truth, right? Because that's the whole reason why we're living, right? Because if we're not living in truth, what are we doing? We're dying. Are we created to die or we're created to live?
Mm, that's the What does it mean to live though? I say that because I made a I made a post that pretty much was saying that service is pretty, and I'm a technician, so my whole basis is to serve. Um, but I really truly believe that to live is to serve. As they say, Yahshua, Jesus, however, whatever you want to call him, uh, would wash would wash our feet down here. Came down here to serve a purpose. Like in a sense, you would even I could even say that God God kind of we serve God, but God also serves us every day we wake up. You know what I'm saying? So my purpose would help me to overcome my addiction as far as me serving. Because how can I serve anybody if I'm, you know, having something else, me serving something that doesn't serve me? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like whenever you serve somebody, you are getting something out of it because you're putting good into the world. Like
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
you're
Because
sowing.
how could you serve? How could you serve, right? If you don't know what the world wants or what
Mm,
is what needed. Like you can't serve a purpose if it's not going to give value to everybody else. You could have that purpose, yes, but guess what? You keeping that purpose to yourself doesn't fulfill the
mm,
the greater, bigger picture as a whole. This is a big world. This is a billions of people that's
mm,
supposed to be all in the same divinity, same attributes, same characters, because we all have the same thing, a spirit. Because without that spirit in us, what can we do? And if the spirit identify who we are, if we're not moving in who we are, we're failing, right? I think so.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. And I feel like a lot of these worldly addictions are throwing everybody off of their purpose.
Absolutely, because it's a confusion.
Hmm. Yeah, and I wanted to ask Monifa. I asked Merch. I asked King God. Well, let me go first. I'll tell you what my addiction is before I ask y'all what y'all addiction is. And it's so many. I don't even know what to choose from my damn self because I do tend to be on my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? I do smoke, and the reason I call it an addiction is because shit, anything we do every freaking day unconsciously, you know what I'm saying, or feel like yeah I deserve this or I need that or I'm gonna have that because I want it more than a few times a day, then that's the addiction. And I would say my addiction is weed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and me, I'm talking about
Your
me personally
body is
because
addicted to weed though, bro.
Yeah,
Not
come on,
you.
brother.
Not
Your
you.
life is
So like
short.
you
Choice.
you
yeah.
you are not Sherrod. You are not Rod. You are a person named Rod. Like I said, if you were born in Japan, your name would be something totally different, but you would still be you. So the spirit or soul, whatever you want to call it, is what controls the mind. And the mind is what controls the body. If we talking about the seven chakras, or if we talking about the glands and just the light glands in the body, bro, like each chakra is just an energy point. You know what I mean? And we just talking about the main seven. So like the sacral chakra, the root chakras. For example, the root chakra, right? Let's talk about vibration and let's talk about who we really are. You are a spirit having a human experience, bro. So inside your body, they have these energy pools. Now, the root chakra is located right where your sexual organs are. Why? Because that's the lowest vibrating chakra. That's what identifies with the color red. That is your body's wants and needs. You feel me? So you're not addicted to weed, bro. Your body is. Just like cheeseburgers or chicken nuggets, and you're not addicted to that. Your tongue is addicted to the taste of it. Like you ever wanted some food and you wasn't hungry? You just wanted to taste it. That's what that is. It's not even like weed probably don't even do nothing for you no more. It probably only does something for your body. Regulate your blood pressure, give you an appetite, give you time to sleep.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
well, let's try this one because this is that I'm getting a lot of good feedback on that one. And I actually was going to say like I wouldn't say it is an addiction just for me, but I noticed that I can kind of stop versus other people. So cell phone addiction, how about that? That I will admit that would be one, and I say that because I'll wake up in the morning and I'll look for my cell phone. You know what I'm saying? If my shit dead, I'm already planning the day out. Like shit, I need to have my shit on charge before I move anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I would say that.
yeah. Hold on, cell phone. And I'm gonna go back to what Merch Life said with the spirit, right? You say if we like spirit having a human experience, but see the thing is the man tricked us, right? And told us that we're a man, right? But if we knew, because the spirit has a name, right? A spirit is not called a man. We all know that. That's written down. Like everything in this world that's happening already been written. Those that have the intelligence of fulfilling what's been written about them. This is why they always say the next generation, because every
Yeah.
generation have an opportunity to become the truth or become the life givers that they rightfully are. So it's like you're a god living like a human being. That's basically what's
Facts. That's why they burned down the
happening.
Library of Alexandria 3 times.
Yeah. But now back to the cell phone, brother. Now if you're using that cell phone again, doing something that's moving the generation forward, it's not a bad thing. But if you're doing what every other generation is doing, then you're caught into that cycle, right? You're in that cycle of life, regurgitating what's being put out every single day, but nobody's making the change to transform and boost the next generation to see themselves as who they're called to be, right?
So there's a good addiction and a bad addiction, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
You
Well.
know,
So
I
there's a
say
way to
addiction,
wield
but
it, right? Just like everything else. You,
you said there's a way to will it, right?
yeah, a way to wield it, right? Like you
Yeah,
could use
because
it for
we
good
are
or
a
for
will.
evil.
Yeah, because again, it goes back again, right? Just like how human families that they've set up wills, all these policies, right? Everyone that comes into this world has a God-given will. But how do they know the will that was given to them if nobody taught them who they are? So then that spirit that's already in them can line themselves up back to the will that they was given. Because remember, we're called to live by what? The will of God, not the will of man. Because if we live by the will of man, we're dying.
Church.
Which is
Preach.
greater than church, because it's like, again, life is an excited experience, right? Because in a moment you could do the unthinkable, the unimaginable in seconds, right? But it
Mm-hmm.
takes unity. Again, another thing, we're so divided. A world could not work with so many different people in the world because we're really one people. Why there are so many people? That's already a red flag that's going to cause confusion
Mm-hmm.
because nobody's going after the same purpose. Everybody's doing that, that, that. One different leaders with different motivations, different inspiration, which is, I think, motivations and inspirations are failure. Because if you're not empowered, then you're just swimming in motivation and inspiration.
Facts. That's why I said I'm not a motivational speaker no more. I told people, I ain't want to cut you off, but I told people, if you're not motivated by what you see me doing to go get off your butt and do something, then it ain't even no point of you watching my content. Like, I don't have to say I'm here to motivate you. No, I'm gonna just do what I'm sent here to do, and it should rub off on you if you watch it. If it don't, then
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't be watching.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we definitely are influenced by what we see and what we hear.
I like what you said
Right.
about having that unity and with the one mind type of thing because sometimes your purpose, matter of fact, all the time, right? All the time. If you're really truly living in your purpose, you understand that you cannot do it alone.
They always,
Exactly. Big fact. Because again, big fact. Takes a body of people to get it done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then it's like the other side of it too is that everybody can't go. Because we want everybody to go, but some people don't even it's not even that some aren't ready because we can't judge people that aren't that we deem as not ready because we once were all in the dark as well. Like I wasn't always the guy that's talking to you right now. I wasn't always me.
Correct.
So I can't judge people for not being where I feel like they should be at. But at the same time, we also just like we need unity, we also need to understand that everybody can't go, bro. Everybody's not ready. Everybody's not able to hold that or to be or to have that crown. Like everybody's not ready to uphold whatever you talking about. You know what I'm saying? When they running a basketball, football, any type of sports team, you might be good at doing a couple things, but if you're not able to do what the team needs you to do, you can't be on the team.
Yeah, the team will fail.
Exactly. So like what's the point of you being here if you can't do like yo, I can shoot. I can shoot. All right, bro, but can you pass? Do you got enough wind in you to go up and down this court? All you can do is shoot? Well then we don't need you, bro. We don't need you. You know what I'm saying? It's levels to that. It's levels to that, man. So I think living in your purpose though, back to the point, I think living in your purpose will allow you to develop positive addictions that then coincide with your purpose. Like we can't put the addiction first. We got to put the purpose first and allow those addictions to come out of the purpose and not the purpose to come out of the addictions. You see what I'm saying?
you see that that equation up there, huh? Like if you work at any uh equation that can be worked forward can be worked backwards. So if you look at it, if you're kind of like addicted to your purpose, then you can be in control.
Absolutely.
Wow, I didn't even think of it that way.
It's like it's so funny. It's like when they say drug addictions are, whatever, woman addictions. But if you're addicted to truth, you're in a great purpose
Mm-hmm.
because no one's gonna knock you down. You're too firm in your position. You're driven every day. You're eating, breathing that because again, we're the breath of life, man. Like, are we putting out their life or are we out there putting out death? Or we're putting out things that just put people back into stumbling blocks? Oh,
Another thing, man, is being this powerful as the people in this room right now, being this powerful. You know how Spider-Man say, "With great power comes great responsibility." When you have the power to wield this type of energy, like he said, you should not be using it to push your purpose back or to do anything that depletes because you're blessed with this power. Everybody don't got this. So you can't use it for
right,
something that's not towards your purpose. Because I believe that
right,
if you do, when you start to do that, that's when you see things like this person was assassinated or that person is being exposed for such and such or so and so. Like those things come about after people start they finesse you when you don't move correctly. Like, and I'm saying that with the most sincerest of heart. Think about how Malcolm X was murdered. Malcolm X was murdered not until he started beefing with Elijah Muhammad. Now he was beefing with Elijah Muhammad, but it was on some like in between them type stuff, right? But when he said after JFK was murdered, I don't wish death on anyone, not even my enemy, because of this right here. When JFK was murdered, Malcolm X said, "Well, the chickens have come home to roost." Well, the roost had. He basically said that he deserved that, and I'm glad that that happened to him. But then in the same year, he was murdered as well. Now, I believe in God, and I believe that God has a sense of humor and God is in control of karma. And I believe that God can change his plan at any time because there are an infinite amount of plans that can come out to the same outcome no matter how we decide to move. So I believe that Malcolm X's life was taken because of how he felt and what he openly said about another man's life being taken. And we can trace back every leader, we can trace back every person that was ever murdered. And I can give you, from a God perspective, a reason why I think it happened. So we have to be careful with this power that we wield because the same thing that make you laugh can make you cry. The same thing. This is not
yeah,
nothing to
but
play with.
correct. But again, right? A divinity, right? A divinity is what the unrighteous are looking for, right? Because again, they don't know what's right. They've been told about something that's going to be right or whatever it is. But again, you can't compare. I can't compare Malcolm X to this divinity because again, he was not acting in that spirit. Because again, the spirit, if you trust the word, shouldn't you be protected? Because if we're abiding in truth,
Yeah, we
then you
should
see
be.
exactly
We
because
should be
in truth,
protected, but we all have an end as well. Like this is
no,
my thing.
not
Emmett
truth,
Till
not
was
truth. Yeah,
listen, like Emmett Till was murdered ruthlessly. But without Emmett Till dying, there wouldn't have been a civil rights movement. The murder of
okay,
Emmett
but
Till is what started all of that. So I believe that God does do things for a reason. Whether it be good or bad, perceived by us, good or bad. It might be something that's horrible to us, but it's really helping us in the future. Nothing happens to you, it all happens for you.
yeah, terrible time for Emmett Till. You know what I mean? That a time that is governed by men, right? Everything is governed by men, right? But if we're living like this time right now, I feel like it's governed by God. If we accept that order, see that light will come, and those men will see that there's God in you, right? And you won't be just like the previous generation because they're gonna see that there's some truth in you. You're not gonna be acting in their order or
The
trying to form something
right,
that's
but the
the
devil,
same thing like them.
The devil, the evil, the entity that wishes us harm, the opposite, the opposition, they don't care if it's God in you or not. They're trying to murder you for being that way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
but
they
again,
killed.
yeah. Nah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I'm saying they killed every man that presented himself with God. They killed all of them. They even trying to kill
Again,
Farrakhan.
yeah, but again, I'm a person that, like I said, I've been a reader as a child. So when you look at when I look at Farrakhan, I don't see the image of God. I don't. I see the image of a Muslim or a black man. I don't see God because he's not coming with the word. He's doing what every
Which
other
word?
man
You
before him.
referring to the Bible?
No, I'm referring the word. The word is God, right? God is the word, right? That's the word I'm talking about.
I
The
don't
word that
understand. You gotta elaborate because that's what it say in the Bible. So this whole time I thought you was talking from a Christian's perspective.
no, I'm not a Christian, brother. But again, like I said, I'm a person that believes in the word. What the word has called us to be, what the word calls every man to be. And we all know the word is God, just like the word is spirit. Any other word is not spirit and not God. So if you're following or you're being led by something, it has to be the spirit. And we all know God is the spirit. And the spirit is the word. And the word is God. This is what's written. If you go around that, then you have complications because now you're influencing a generation to come out of the life of God, to do what they're setting up for their purpose or their gratification. But is it the will of God? Because remember, the will of God is going to bring around peace. So if everyone that claims that they're trying to fulfill God's order, why is the Christians or Muslims been around so long, but there's no peace there? Why is there so much fight? Because if they was all God, there will be peace. At least that's what's written, right? This is the truth.
Yeah, that's what's
Because we're
written, but you also have like in those religious groups, you have people that aren't godly. Like I can go to a church today and I can point out a sinner. I can go to the mosque and I can say this dude right
that's
here
what
is not godly.
I'm saying. That's why I tell you when I look at Farrakhan, because you say Farrakhan, I don't see God in Farrakhan.
But
I
that's
see
yeah,
a
that's a
man.
human perception though, because there's other people
No,
like
it's
I'm
not
not
human
saying that I
perception.
do, but I'm saying people in his congregation or people that follow him, that's what they say they see when they look at him. So is it your
Because
perception of it?
we're talking about truth here. We're talking about the word. Because
You
anyone
saying you
that's gonna
saying all the
come,
same words that they say though. They be like, yeah, it's
no,
truth. That's
yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
remember again, I know, but you're coming in the name of truth, right? What is the name of truth?
But that's
Like,
the
what
thing.
is the
Whose truth though? Like the truth is based off of what you believe. If I tell you I had a red bike when I was a child and you believe that, that's the truth to you now. But my mom might be like, boy, you ain't never had no red bike. All your bikes was blue.
yeah, but that's again, you would see it, right? If you're a witness, because I can't, like me, I come in just what 1978. How could I be a witness to the past if I wasn't there in flesh? I was there in spirit, but I wasn't there in flesh to witness it. But today, right? What am I a witness to? The word. That is what I'm a witness to. I'm not a witness to no man because again, no man called me to be God, right? No man called you to do that. Any man said you are a God? Any one man came in and told you that you're a God? Every man
No,
came in here, they
I
either tell
told
you a
myself
Muslim,
that.
you're a Christian,
Well,
you
well,
tell you a Muslim. Go ahead, brother.
I want to say this though. There is always a truth. If there wasn't a truth, there wouldn't be a word called truth. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There's only one truth. So, and one of my favorite quotes by Erica Badu was, "A man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all." So that keeps me humble. You know what I'm saying? And that keeps me close to the truth. You know what I'm saying? And with that being
But
said,
that's false, bro.
damn, what was I about to
It's
say?
not
It
only
was
it's more than one truth.
right.
But
That's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say.
there's only one truth. Let's be realistic here, right?
Mhm.
It's just like there's only one God, right? But in a world that we're born in, there's over 3,000, 6,000 gods, which is ridiculous to me because how could there just be one God, but many but these are gods that men create, right? Because no man is going to tell you, no man, just like in the past, right? Every man anointed a person to be something. But see, when you're chosen by God or elect by God, it's the word that elected you because it moved your spirit to be like God. So now
Right.
when
All right.
men
So let
look
me
at
ask
you,
you this. Let
go
me
ahead.
ask you this. I'm the leader of the Aryan Brotherhood, and I feel as
Okay.
though God told me, or God put it in my spirit to move me to make this
Okay.
race stand out as the superior race. All right. Now let's flip the
Okay.
coin. Now I'm
Yeah.
a black slave. My name is Nat Turner, and I'm reading the Bible
Okay.
every day, and I feel as though
Okay.
God put in my heart to revolt and kill these white folks. I'm gonna go murder the capital of the Aryan Brotherhood. Who is right? Which one is really telling the truth when they both feel as though they're living in
And
there? That's why I say it's more than one truth. The truth to
no,
you
and with me,
might
okay,
be a
hold on,
lie to someone else.
hold on now. Me abiding in truth, I know they're both wrong. Because if God called you to do something, whose name are you doing it in? You're doing it in the name of God. You're not doing it in the name because if you come in any other name, you will be eliminated.
Bro, I'm in Philly. When Muslims fight somebody else, before they swing, they say, "In the name of Allah," and then they start rumbling.
Again, when you say Allah, Allah is not God, right?
But
You're
how?
talking
It's the
about
word God in another language. How is it not God?
yeah, but again, brother, you cannot go around the word. Like it doesn't matter what men say. Every
Listen, I'm
man
not
knows.
saying no. You're not understanding what
Okay,
I'm saying. The word Allah means God in English, so it's
okay,
not
yeah.
another
Any man,
person. It's not a separate
yeah, but
God. It is God that you're talking
again,
about too.
no, it's not.
Okay,
It's a
hold on, hold on,
different.
hold
Why?
on.
Because it's a
Can I say
different
something?
name. So in Spanish they say
Exactly,
Dios. So that's not God.
exactly, because it's not Dios. God is God.
All right.
Okay,
So
Dios is
God can
Dios.
only be addressed in the English language because language is like, bro, language is made up by people. Like humans
like
made
I
up.
told,
God didn't make up language.
like I told
How
you,
can we
brother,
put
when
a
you made the
label
comment,
on God?
because you made that when you made a comment, you said we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Like I told you,
Exactly. So how do we know what God's name
hold on,
is?
hold on, hold on, hold on now.
Hold on, merch.
A
Hold on, merch.
spirit has an identity. A spirit has a name. What is the name of the spirit? What is the name of the identity?
I don't know.
This
You
is
gotta
what
tell
we're
me.
talking about. God, because it's the only spirit.
All
That's
right,
Hold
all
on.
right, but
exactly.
that's the English name for God. That's what I'm saying. So in another language, so if I'm not speaking the English language, then I can't say who God is. Like because in Spanish they say "Ay Dios mío," that means "Oh my God." So they're not talking about the same God. Like in
No, because we coming from a past, right? Because remember I told you, this is a written world. Before God, there was many others, right? Even though
yeah,
God is
before
the
the word
firstborn,
God
we know,
was invented, there was still God.
but it's the firstborn, right? Meaning it's the firstborn of creation. Because without the spirit, nothing could be created. So again, a man would have to know: is it his work or God's work, right? It's just like the man getting up every day and say, "I'm a man."
But man made up the
Who
language,
created
bro.
you? No
Okay,
man could create you.
Man
okay,
made
merch.
up the
Let me
language though,
interject.
bro. All three of the
Merch.
languages.
Let me interject real quick. I really see where both of y'all is coming from, and merch. I see what you're trying to get
I believe that God
anybody
is
to
one
understand.
source, like the same source. So anybody that
It's
says God, we not talking about like a different thing. We talking about the same thing,
No,
even if we say it
he
differently.
he's talking about the same thing too. So understand this now. Now I'm about to come with my. I'm not really trying to merge or bridge. I'm really just coming in as the third, and maybe that'll be the equation factor. But basically, would y'all agree that there was a source for everything? Everything had one source. Like that's why one blood,
Yeah.
one people, right? It all came from one. So in the beginning, there was the word, the one word, universe, uni being one,
yes,
first being word,
that's right.
universe. You know what I'm saying? So when I break down the word uni, you and I, when you and I verse, when you and I talk, God is in the mix. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
So that's how we're able to communicate and work things out. I don't think that we were put on this earth and supposed to know every fucking thing. We're supposed to be able to get with our brother and sister which is our, usually our sisters are they are our counterparts. You know what I'm saying? So when we get with our sister, our counterpart, we are able to do things like God, which is create. God is the great creator. We use the context clues that we were given, but not in your own totality of understanding. Because only with another woman will I have realized that, oh, I can create as God intended, the great creator. You know what I'm saying? Or even by myself, it's like, oh, with when I'm next to somebody else, I am still I am. You know what I'm saying? Versus not versus, but in comparison to the great I am. So these words all kind of formulate around each other. But I think what Merch is saying is that, like, let's, well, not to jump off that subject, but basically there was all one. Like, there is a one true God. There is a one true name of God.
That's
Now,
right.
for sure, we might not know what that is, and the only thing that we have to go off of is what we built off of, which is other languages, broken languages that all kind of mean the same thing. Yes, amor means love. Yes, love means love. Yes, Amore means love. Yes, they're all saying mentioning the same type of entity, though they're saying it in different ways. But does that mean one is the right way and the other one is the wrong way? Nah, it
Correct.
don't
Yes.
mean. Huh?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
believe
yeah. I
so.
knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was
I
gonna
believe
say
so
that.
because again, I remember I'm coming from a past where we always been going the wrong way. And why are we not going the right way today? That's what's gonna supersede us above every other generation before us. Because again, we coming in this world. What did we see? We observing what's been here, and we cannot keep doing the same thing. That's why I says if you don't renew your thinking or if you don't change your direction, you're doing the same thing other generations do. So what are you gonna produce? Death. The wages of sin is death. That's what every man is experiencing today. Doesn't matter what religion, they're all dying because they're
Bro,
going
but
the
the
wrong way.
wages of righteousness
No,
is
you're
death
gonna.
too. You gonna die no matter
You're
what
gonna.
you do.
You're gonna die no matter what you do. So you can't just say what someone else's religion is wrong because that's the way that they've been doing
Not
for so long. They probably feel like we doing everything wrong too. You know
not
what I'm saying? But
true according to the word. What does the word say?
the word could be wrong. You know how many
No,
years
see
ago
that's what
You
that
talking
word was
about? All
again.
right, hold
changed.
up. Are you talking about the Bible when you say the word? Because you keep quoting the Bible.
No,
He
because the
said
Bible and the
no.
word is two different things, man.
I,
What
that's
did
that's what I'm
okay?
trying to
Let me
understand.
let
What
me
is
let
the
me let
word
me
to
let me
you?
ask again. Okay,
I
again.
feel like
It's
I feel like everything is wrong because we weren't put on this rules and to abide by all of this stuff. Because what are rules? Rules
Wait,
are
sis.
words
The-
are spells. We're just put here and told to do this. I don't
Exactly.
feel
Like
like
every
none of the
language
stuff
was
that
made
we
up
do
by a
is right.
human
So
being.
well, there
exactly.
is law though. Like, there is law
okay.
of the land. There is laws of the universe. We are meant
All
to
right, so
abide
yeah,
certain
right.
laws.
So right, you right about that. There are laws of the universe, and hold that thought. I'm gonna bring us into that thought. So there are laws of the universe, right? That everyone should abide by, no matter what language you speak, or what religion you claim to practice,
Yeah.
or whatever the case may
Huh?
be.
They keep it about
So
here.
how can you say that someone that speaks a entirely different language and they're saying God, 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 but they're saying it in their language because they didn't say the word that's spelled God, they're not talking about the same source that you're talking
All right,
about.
how about this? How about this? I really feel like that us as humans are finite and really dumb as shit. We don't really know nothing. And I do believe that we have a certain type of laziness in us that don't make us reach and stretch for the truth to the point where we'll reach a point and be like, well, this is the name that I'm going to use for God. So this is what I'm going to call him. And God is going to understand because, I'm not God. And I don't have those type of access to infinite divinity knowledge. But we do have that access, and we have to strive
Yeah.
and stretch for it. And sometimes we just be like, you know what, fuck it. We were here to. It's called nihilism. That's what this generation is deep on, nihilism. If anybody plays spades, you know what nihil means. Nihil means that you don't go anything. You're trying to get zero. You know what I'm saying? And nihilism in this generation means that they don't give a shit about nothing. Fuck love, fuck hate, fuck this, fuck that. I'm a spiritualist. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not I'm everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm everything and nothing at the
ain't
same
gonna
time.
work.
And it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta toughen the fuck up, batten down,
Correct.
and be like, all right, look, I might not know, and I'm speaking new. I'm being renewed from King God's words, because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be
Absolutely.
renewed and die every day. We're supposed to like change our minds or grow deeper every day. You know what I'm saying? Not supposed to be born and be like, all right, I got an idea, and this is what I'm going to grow off of. Because somebody should be able to tell you something, and it sparks something in your mind to think differently. Right. And what I thought now, being in this room, I feel like I got to dig deeper. I'm not just going to settle for not knowing the truth. Not saying that, you know, God doesn't work for me. God works for me right now. You know what I'm saying? But,
correct.
But I have not read enough books. I haven't made enough trips. I haven't traveled enough for me to just be like, you know, I don't know what it is, or there's not a real name, true name. There's not one name for God. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to admit, I haven't done enough. I don't think anybody has traveled enough to know, you know what I'm saying, what we really speaking on. We're trying to work it out right now. And to be honest, I think that King God is really just challenging us to dig deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. We got to come from within. We can't be approaching this from the outer. We're inner beings. Like you got back to the intelligence I speak. Like most of us come in here, we feel like we're the heart, we're the mind, we're the body. We're far more greater than what we're contained in. We're the intelligence within this body. So if you limit yourself to just the body or what you eat, you gave up.
Facts.
You gave up.
Facts. Yeah, I don't believe that we are. I'm not Jeremy. I'm just a guy named Jeremy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person named that. So like, I agree. But that's kind of contradictory when you say that we live or we are beyond our physical, you know, existence or whatever. But then you also say, if you're not saying God, then you're not talking about the source. Like, what if I just say source? Why do I gotta say God? Like, why do I have to say what you said in order for it to be true?
I know. I understand what you're saying, brother. But again, I'm a person of right? Just like there's a law. I know God is the law. God is the great judge. So for me to say source, that's what everybody else say. But it doesn't mean anything because it never worked. You got to stand up in that truth of who you are. You're a God.
Bro, the word God is a word, bro. It's made up by humans. That's what I'm saying. I could say any word and still be referring to that.
No, you can't.
I can.
Tell you. You can't because
it might not be understood as that, but how do you know what I'm referring to though when I say it? Is what I'm saying,
bro. But would you not be offended if, you know, you're just you're Jeremy, right? You're Jeremy, and you go to a world, save every fucking body, right? And then you like, y'all, my name is Jeremy, I'm out.
But when did God say this is my name though?
Goddamn, the green grass, because he came to save the green grass.
Bro, when did God say this is my name? When did he say that? Because if you about to say he said it in the Bible, now we really contradicting ourselves. When did God say to you, this is my name?
Again, I like to speak on truth again, right? The word, right? Many people in this world, right? They claim they know God, or they, you know what I'm saying? But again, what is God? Who is God? See, those things you got to figure out. Me coming in this world, I knew the word was God. Because I knew the spirit is what moves every single human being to do something. Because without the spirit, there's not one single human being could do anything. It's just like when I see a human being create something, right, and say, "Oh, I did it." I say, "Yeah, right." Where does he give the right who did it and give the right, you know, the right order to say God did it?
Exactly. So where do you get the right or the order to say that this word doesn't mean God or that word doesn't mean God because it's a different language? Bro, I'm not a Muslim. I'm not defending Islam, but I'm saying that sounds crazy to say, oh, this person is saying God in their language, but they're not talking about God. Like,
I
what?
Know, but I know that every single religion know this truth I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about religion, bro. I'm talking about a
No,
language.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. Because, like I said, if you're not moving in truth, everyone misses it. Everyone misses the great purpose to make them transform. Because again, we cannot live in like we're not who we are. Like, it's not gonna work. We've seen every generation do it, and it didn't work. But every generation looked forward for this truth. Every generation looked forward to being like God. You have to be. That's the only way you're gonna fulfill purpose here. That's real purpose now. Any other purpose is not purpose.
I understand all of that, and you focusing on the bigger picture. I'm focusing on the fact that you said the word God, like the actual word God, is the only way to describe the creator that we're talking about. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's false, bro. I'm telling you that is false.
No, it's not. Because what does the word say? In the beginning was the word.
And now you're quoting the Bible again.
Again, brother, I'm talking about the word. What does the Bible talk about? I'm going to ask you that. What does the Bible talk about? God. That's the only word that.
Bro, in the Bible, it says that Jesus is God. That's why I'm not trying to quote the Bible.
Again, we're not talking about what humans are doing. I'm talking about the word, which is God, right? That's what I'm talking about here. And the Bible talks about God than more than any other being, any other person.
So in Hebrew, the Bible says Yahweh. Is that God to you?
Again, I'm not Yahweh.
It's another language, bro. It's just another language.
Again,
Same thing.
Yahweh. You see my name, right? So again, I'm going to be in truth.
So only people that speak English can speak the truth. I'm just asking.
Everybody can speak English, brother. Everybody can speak English.
All right, that's what I'm saying. So only in the English language can the truth be spoken. Is that correct? I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
Can't hear you.
It's only one truth, brother. There's no other.
So before the English language was created, there was no truth?
That ain't what he said. He said there's only one truth.
All right, but I'm asking you, without the English language, is there truth? Because you're now saying that God, the way you spell it in your name, is the way that you say the name of the creator, the source, God, Dios, Allah, whatever, however you want to say it. That's the only way to say it. So I'm asking you, because that's an English word, it created in the English language. Before the English language was invented, there wasn't a truth, or there was a truth, you just couldn't say it out loud. Like, I'm confused.
If there was truth, right, you would not come in an imperfection world. So we have the opportunity to reinforce truth in flesh, right? Because people talk about it, but did they become this truth? That's where you should look at it, because we're called to be the truth, and there's only one truth. What truth are you in? What truth is it? Because you can't come in those other names that bring about confusion.
But who's confused? Like, how do they? All right, so if I spoke Arabic, right, and then you came to me speaking English, and you said God, would that not confuse me because I don't speak English?
No, because you would know, but you would go against it because you speak a different language.
Like, just like you're going against it because it's a different language. When I'm trying to tell you, it's the same word. It means God.
Brother,
they both mean God, bro.
Brother, just like I rose to this position, so guess what? I'm the truth today. I can't go around that because I'll be going around all my experience upon this earth. I'm the one that figured it out. I put time into this. I seen what works and what doesn't work. I observed, and I know any other way, it doesn't work because there's only one way.
All right, what's the way?
The way of God. You got to do it God's way.
So
okay, so God only does it in English? I'm super confused now.
I know. I forget about the language, man.
That's what I'm saying. We are forgetting about the language. You're telling me that no, they say God in a different language. That's not God. It's a different language. But we forgetting about the language though. What's going on there?
I'm just trying to tell you that the world will know the name of God, even though before us, right? This name was right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right. Before we said Allah, before we said Dios, before we said
it.
all of that.
The first to be created, but the last to be born, and that's the time we're living in. The word became flesh, brother. No one can say they don't acknowledge it no more.
Bro, you sound like a Christian right now. That's why I'm trying to figure out like what's the foundation behind it.
Well, merch, you know, with our travels and understandings, bro. You know, we ain't even focused on one religion. You know, we found out that everybody had a piece of the pie. So I don't think you should be kind of putting him on that Christian thing, even though we both know.
I never said I'm a Christian.
Christian has a big part of the truth, such as so does the Islamic nation and other religions that we don't know has a piece of it. So I just think that he's using not using, but we're acknowledging what we hear, which is the Christian.
I feel you, but I'm only speaking on it because you're telling King God, you're telling me to not have a closed mind and to be open to spirituality and to be open to who God really is. But at the same time, you're having a closed thinking process of the fact that God has many names, and we don't know God's true name.
Isn't God you?
Yes.
Okay, so why are you fighting in and going around it? You're not Allah. Are you Allah? Are you Jesus?
If somebody spoke to me in Arabic, they wouldn't say Jesus. They wouldn't say God. They would say Allah because that's the language they speak. But Allah is not a different person. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It's all the same thing, bro.
Allah is not a person, though, brother. Allah is not a person.
God's not a person either. No, God's not a person, bro. God is an entity.
You're talking to God.
And you are too.
King God Almighty. Who else is King God Almighty? Merch. Who else is that? Who else is God? I'm talking to you, brother.
If you ask a Japanese man, he gonna tell you in Japanese. So is he not talking about you?
Again, brother, we're talking about truth here, right?
So Japanese not the truth.
So
like what?
So are you saying that basically, since my name is Shiraz, they're not going to say my name in any other different. They'll say it with a different accent, but I'm gonna always be Shiraz. Like you can't change the name of the title of a movie.
But the name is not who you are, right?
No, but it's
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. The name God, the name Allah, the name Dios is not who God is. That's what we call him in the language that we speak.
But again, I am that name. So do you deny my name?
I don't deny your name. I'm trying to figure out why you're denying God's name. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No,
because you said no, that's not God because it's a different language.
Remember, I could speak because again, remember when I come into this world, right? All I seen was wrong. Today, I'm walking in the truth. This is why I could speak the way I speak.
Bro, we saying the same exact thing, bro.
I don't think
that's why I speak the way that I speak. Like what?
Right, but at the same time, just like I said, there's only one way. You said there's many ways.
It is, bro. It's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, bro. It's 1,000 ways. Jesus ain't the only way to God.
In the worldly attributes, but we're talking about in a will, man. We're talking about in a divinity. There's only one.
And I'm telling you, there's not one way. I'm telling you, there's more than one way, bro. I've done it multiple ways.
So hold on, brother. Let me ask you another question. So you're telling God what it is.
I am God, bro. I am God. So I'm telling you what it is.
All right, this is not gonna go nowhere. But like I said, bro.
But we saying the same thing, bro. We agreeing, we arguing and agreeing at the same time.
I don't think we're saying the same thing. You have a different opinion on it, while I'm talking about fact here. I'm talking about purpose here again.
Right,
Allah doesn't have a purpose. Christianity doesn't have a purpose.
Bro, I'm not talking about religion when I say Allah. That's the part you missed. I'm talking about a specific word that they use in a different language.
And that's why I try to tell you, Allah doesn't have a purpose.
So God doesn't have a purpose because it's a different language?
No, God has a purpose because this is what
And
everybody's been
Allah
waiting
and God are synonymous, bro. It's the same thing. So if I say azul, I'm not talking about the color blue.
First of all, you will never see a Allah sit down and talk to you, but you will sit down and talk to a God.
Bro, Allah means
The world
God.
will,
You just said you'll never see God sit down and talk to you, but you'll sit down and talk to
brother,
God.
just like again we say, there's only one king, one God, right?
That's like
Allah is
saying
not
PC and computer. We talking about the same thing, bro.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Because you could never have a conversation with Allah, but you could have a conversation
Why?
with
Why?
God.
Why?
How?
I'm
What do
having
you
a
mean?
conversation with Allah right now.
Okay, that's what you say, but not factual.
And which one of us is going to prove it?
saying-
Since it's facts, which one of us going to prove it?
Again, brother,
At
man.
the end of the day, it's all speculation. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, bro.
I don't
You're
deal
telling
with
me that there's a
speculation, man.
truth that you live in and that this is true and that's true. And I'm telling you that truth to the spider is a lie to the fly.
Yeah, but we're
Truth
not
is
talking
based
about
on
spiders and
perception,
flies
bro.
here, though. But let's
All right,
talk
we talking about
us.
me and you. We talking
We're
about me and
talking
you,
about
King
us.
God.
Yeah, let's keep it factual,
Let's.
man. Like
That is a fact.
experience for experience. Yeah, like we're not talking about flies and we're not talking about spider, man. We're talking about truth here. Allah is not the truth. I'm telling you, God is the truth, and that's factual,
And
man.
Allah and God are
You
the
could
same
go.
thing, bro.
You
It's
again, I'm gonna tell you no.
Allah
because
has nothing to do with religion, bro. It's a language. Like it's just a
and like
language
I
they speak.
said, a person that's doing it Allah way is doing it differently in this world. A person that's doing it God way, you're gonna see the difference. So you cannot say Allah and God is the same. You cannot say that today, brother. That's all I'm telling you.
Oh, you
They
talking about the
literally
result?
the same thing. It's just different ways that they do it. The religions are basically the same.
That's what, but I'm not even talking about the religion. I'm talking about the word. Like that's what we missing. The word Allah is a word in another language. It's not a different
Yeah, but
God
it's
or
not
a
the
different
truth.
thing you
It's
worship.
not the truth, brother. It's not the
How
truth.
is it
That's
not the
all I'm
truth if
saying.
it's another language, bro? It's just a language. It's just a language. So if I come to America as a Muslim and you say we about to go worship God and you walk me into a Christian or a Jewish temple or wherever, I'm not gonna say thank you God for waking me up. I'm gonna say thank you Allah for
Again.
waking me up. That don't mean I'm talking about being a Muslim though.
Again, I'd rather act.
So if I say Jah, then that's not the truth because you assume I'm a Rastafarian.
Again, no, I didn't say that. But again, I'd rather be walking in the right name than walking in the wrong name, like previous generation. I'm a person.
Bro,
that
God
studied
is
history.
older than the English language. If God's real name was ever spoke, it wasn't spoken in English. Do you know how new this language is
Again,
compared to the
again,
rest
brother,
of the
like I said,
world?
yeah, but again, what is the world waiting for? It ain't man, right? They had enough of man, right? They're waiting on God, right? This is what the world is waiting for, right? They're waiting for the power of God to be assembled. They're not waiting on the power of Allah because it's already been out there.
They
and
are
it's
waiting
done
on
nothing.
some people are waiting on the power of Allah. Some people waiting on the
Yeah,
power of
exactly.
Moses.
And
Some
guess-
people
you
waiting
know
on
that
the
Bob-
Hebrew Israelites. Like they
and
all
just
waiting
like
on
that
something.
And just like that Bob Marley song, they'll be waiting in vain. But until they rise up and stand in truth, the right name, they're not waiting no more. They become an action figure. Now
Yeah,
they're
I'm
doing.
definitely not waiting no more. Yeah, I'm definitely not
It,
waiting.
it goes right back to procrastination. Like, if you're not in God, you're procrastinating.
I agree.
Any other name, you're a procrastinator.
So you're
You're
saying
just-
the name of God is literally God?
Absolutely, brother. That's who
Okay.
I am.
Okay, so with that being said, if I think what my brother's saying is, if you was to tell me that fire is hot, right? If you tell me fire is hot, which is truth, right? It's truth, King.
This man,
I'm just saying. I mean, it's
I
question.
said
Fire
it's
is
like
hot,
to
right?
me, if you put your hand in the fire, you might get burned. It just depends on how you
Okay.
go about it, right?
I'm going
But again, it's just not a great example because when we kind of move out of the realm of truth, it's just not right, brother.
So hot and caliente are not the same thing.
Wait. Hold on, Merch. We talking about the same thing right now. Just humor me with my example, which is fire is hot, right? You kind of went off. Okay.
God is
What's the but? What's the but if we talking about truth? When there's truth, there is no but. is the absolute truth. So fire is hot, correct? I mean, we both serve a perfect God. There is no in between. It's yes or no. Yeah, right? I mean, because we both
again, but through my experience, it might not be hot to some other people, right?
I'm talking about your truth. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. Because now it's starting to seem like we're being a little like we want to not combative, but I mean,
no, it's not even that. It's just that I know it's just gonna be a ring around. If I say fire,
right.
if I say, because I already know. If I say fire is hot, what are you gonna say?
There's only one way to find out. I'm not. It's your truth. If you know your truth,
and that's what I'm coming. I'm saying if I say fire is hot, if I say fire is hot, what are you gonna say?
See, you don't even want to answer the question. Like, why don't you want to believe your truth?
I just
say yes.
did.
Okay. So if I say fuego is hot, would you say that's the same thing? Or would you say because I didn't use the word fire, it's not the same thing?
That's what I'm saying. To me, it's just gibberish. It's foolishness what you're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to look at it.
All right, so how do you know that God only speaks English and every other language is foolishness? That right there is a Christian ideology, bro.
Man, that's what I said. When you're standing in truth, it's hard to go around. Y'all could go around it because y'all see differently. I'm just speaking of my experience.
I think Nate had something to say. Everybody pause real quick. What did you want to say, Shawnee?
What I take from it is like a name is a name, a word is a word. Like when you go to China and you introduce yourself, your name is still going to be Jeremy. It's not going to change because the language has changed. Your name is still going to be Jeremy no matter where you go. Like they're not going to differentiate from that. And then what I also take from it is when Rod said fire is hot. How would you agree? And then he said you'll have to see to find out. So I feel like King God just trying to say you have to do your own research to figure out who God is, what is his name.
Correct.
Nobody ever took the initiative or the time to go find out the actual name of God because Allah is Allah, Yahweh is Yahweh, because that fits the narrative of the religion that it is associated with.
Thank you, sister.
All right. So I agree that a name is a name and a word is a word, but God is not a name. It is a word. It is an English word. So that means that it can be translated in other like if it wasn't a word, we wouldn't be able to say it in other languages. We would have to say like if I go to China, they're going to call me Jeremy. There's no Chinese name for the name Jeremy because it's a name. It's not a word. So is God a name or is it a word? And if it is a name, then why wasn't the name God being used forever? Because in Latin, the word God means something different. It doesn't mean something different. I'm sorry. It's said differently, but it means the same thing. That's what we trying to explain. So like hot is hot in English, but it's caliente in Spanish or whatever. But it means the same thing.
Just like I discovered when I was born, right? In beginning, before me, God was just a word, right? In my lifetime, God became the name. Just like if I go to China, right? They would know King God Almighty. You see, anywhere I go, they will know God's name. Because I am that name. I am that living word.
Are you saying like you're God in a sense? Like
brother, we are, right?
No, I agree.
You can't go. Nobody could. People been saying this for generations. Oh, I'm a God, but then you hear them. I'm black. I'm Israelite. I'm African. God is not confused, man. If you're gonna stand in truth, you're gonna be all about truth, so you could conquer this.
Right.
Because the only way you're gonna conquer this is to know who you are.
And I am God, bro. But I also am not limited to one language of how you're gonna express who I am.
But I kind of get what he's saying, like in the sense of if me being God, I'm made in His reflection. I am the great I am.
Woo!
that means that I am able to go to China and say my name without having to change shit and being like, goddamn, this is me. I'm him.
You don't have.
Because
That's the thing. You don't have to change it, but you do got to understand that when they say God in their language, they're talking about God. It's not a different person or a different, like, it's the same. It's the same thing.
This is the thing. We both know that we're made in God's image, right? We represent God whenever we go somewhere. So it's like we can't be it's like we playing both hands now. It's like we playing both hands.
Unstable. Unstable in every way.
We're saying, all right, God is this and God is that and God is over here, and if you look at God,
No, that's not what I'm saying, bro.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying like, well, all right, what you do is the same thing I do, which is I am the great I am what I am.
From my understanding of what God is, God encompasses everything and everyone, everything that there ever was. So if I create a language and then I express who God is in that language, and then you create a language and you express, how is any of us different from what we came from? How can you be any different than what created you? That's what I'm trying to say. Just
like the word says, when you see my people, you will know my name.
So where do other people come from, bro, if they weren't created by God? Like, what are you talking about right now? The devil is God, bro.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Because I don't see. Everyone that was born into this world is conditioned by a man and a woman, not God. This is why every man and woman look up to their mother and father. They have to say, Mama, Papa. Isn't God our Father?
Creator and Father are not the same thing.
Isn't God the Father of creation?
No, because the word father refers to biological creation, bro. It refers to you. That's not what that means. Now we breaking down the English language, because the word father doesn't mean creator. Father and creator are two different things, bro.
Oh, brother.
You kind of going into the word play too, Merch. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit. I see, but I see what he's saying, which is the father of creation. Like, it had to start somewhere.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that.
It all derived from the spirit.
It all derived from the same thing. Right. Okay. Keep going.
Just like when men came about, right? Without that spirit to name things, which is the spirit that's naming it, not the man, but the man takes credit, right? Just like when if the first person, right, before us knew they was God, this wouldn't be America, or this wouldn't be the United States, right?
Yep.
The kingdom would have already been set up. But because they didn't know, and just like every oncoming generation, we would hope that they would replace the other one. But of course, it's been a repeated cycle. It's up to us, I tell you that, to change it, which we have the power to do it if we get out of their labels and names. And we get away from their God. Because we could only serve the God within us, which is
Bro, but I feel like the name that you're using to describe God is also a label invented by a man. Do you not see that?
Okay, let me answer this guy real quick. If that was the label identified by man would have been the greatest label on earth. But obviously, man is man and God is God.
But man made up the word God, bro.
Again, brother, but what man is living like God? If man made up something, why is he not living up to this truth? How could you say something and just leave it in the air?
If man made up the word God, why is he not living in the living like God?
You said man made. I'm just telling you what you told.
I understand, and I'm about to answer you. I'm about to answer you because
if man made up the name, they would be living up to this name.
That's not true, bro. That's not true.
So, I mean, basically, he's saying like, all right, so in America, we got a bunch of motherfuckers running around saying I'm God. You know what I'm saying? Including me. including me. But I'm not perfect as God is. You know what I'm saying? So
God is not
basically,
perfect
if
though.
I'm saying if I'm using the word God in such a high prestigious name and reference, that means that I should be, you know what I'm saying, striving for that same perfection. Just because
Same
the word, just
perfection.
the same name, that name is impeccable. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
And
so
there's no reason why.
I see where the Allah got messed up at, because when I said Allah, you're like, hold up, the people that say that not living up to what God truly is. And no, that's not what I was saying. I wasn't saying that they are living up to that. I was saying that they say God in a different language. That's all that I was saying.
I hate to say this, but it's because I love you. God and Allah should not be in the same conversation.
What up, Jilly B? DTX down there, connection. I see you, my
Hey,
boy.
how y'all doing?
What up, mama?
Two different truths, man.
You talking about religion and I'm talking about language though.
Brother, like I said, you stuck on religion, man. I'm a spirit.
I just said I'm not talking about religion. Every time I say Allah, you immediately think Muslim, right?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying
Because you saying it's two different truths, bro.
And I'm just trying to tell you that God doesn't need no association.
Exactly. So how can God only be identified by the word God then? If he doesn't need association, if he's bigger than words. But that's what you're arguing. You're arguing that the only way to identify God is the word God. That's what you said. That's what you said, bro. I've recorded it. That's what you said.
Y'all saying the same thing, bro. I swear to God, y'all in a sense, y'all saying.
That's what I've been trying to explain.
I do want to give King God the kudos, bro, because on the back end, bro, I see you really pushing the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because I put myself in that position sometimes as the sheep. You know what I'm saying? As almost a sacrificial sheep. I ain't gonna die by it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? For a mother to wake up some sheep. You know what I'm saying? I really want to wake up the lions. Fuck the sheep. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I understand that sometimes you got to put yourself out there on the plate, kind of sort of just put yourself out there to make people think. You know what I'm saying? For people to push the narrative. All right, well, he's saying that God is, and I'm gonna tell you, me and Merch, we've done our research, and Merch more so than I, you know, and I'm gonna just tell you this, that we haven't had this exhilarating type of conversation about God in a while. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely gonna be doing my research in order not just to come back and be like, hey man, you know this, that, and the other, but you know it's for self. It's for self gain. Everybody in this room should be, you know what I'm saying, taking a piece of what's being heard. So, you know what I'm saying, we all don't know it all. So y'all hearing some good sauce right now, man. And like I said, I just wanted to give King God the kudos for even, you know what I'm saying, opening up that thought process to think harder, because our generation, man, not even our generation, shit, the government don't want us to think. They want you to be programmed. They want you to goddamn turn on TBN and watch the white dude up there talking about churches Sunday morning. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that point.
What's up, Jilly B? How you feel? Where you from? What you doing? What's going on?
King God, would you say that God is in control or you are in control? Oh shit, don't open up a whole can now.
You gotta unmute yourself if you speaking.
Yeah, we are in control, right? Just like if are we a living sacrifice or are we a dead sacrifice? Many before us are a dead sacrifice because they didn't even activate to even live up to what they're called to be. Because again, like Merch says, man created the word, but yet still man can't even live up to the word that he created. That's bad to me.
Yeah, that is bad. I agree that's bad, but that doesn't
you
mean.
can't even walk in those shoes. And just like, you know, when you talk about the Bible, just think about the last messenger of this word. He said he can't even walk in the shoes of God. That's a big shoes to fill.
I don't know one man that has done it yet. And to speak to what you just said about how.
Or not, brother, as simple as you said that, you could do it today.
And it's the thing about going to
Could and doing are two different things.
But you would have to activate that because I'm doing it. I'm definitely doing it. I'm
So
just
when you said
living
that,
testimony.
when you said that, like, how could man create? Like, so you don't believe that the English language, the word God, was invented by men?
Again, man, there's nothing invented by men. Nothing.
I go for that. I go for that.
Nothing. Everything that you see or think they did, they have nothing to do with it.
I go for
Just
that.
remove them from that.
All right, so then, all right, that's a good thought, because I do agree with that. Everything was created by God. Even if a man made it, he still made the man, and then he made. So yeah, I agree with that. So let me ask you this: why create all of these languages if only the English language is how you can address me, and I'm God? What would be the point if I'm so perfect?
Like I just told you, right? Before us, was there a God? Was there God? When you look around this world, brother, do you see God or you see mankind?
What does God look like?
Like you.
So the answer's got to be God.
So the
Because
answer is yes.
No,
Then
no, 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 no. You can't say that because again, we see black, we see white. Had they knew they was a God, they wouldn't be black, they wouldn't be white, they wouldn't be Chinese, they wouldn't be Muslim, they wouldn't be it wouldn't be none of these religions.
but I see God everywhere, though. I see God in everything.
I understand what you're saying, brother. But again, it's a will that we must fulfill, right? It's a will. Not everybody's gonna fulfill this will, or not every. Because I mean, you gotta desire this truth because they tell you, the word says, those that desire to see me will see me. So if you don't desire it, you could never become it.
and how many people desire to be goddamn string up on a fucking crucifix and nailed? How many people want to do life in prison for something they believe in for real? How many people really gonna do this? I ain't gonna lie. I see where you coming from, King.
Yeah, I know. I know, but it's a different walk, man. Like I said, I know we wasn't created to be crucified, so I'm not even worrying about that. You know what I mean? Like,
but I definitely see what you're saying. If it's easier for a camel to walk through the eye of a needle,
needle eye,
right?
yeah.
Right, then that means that motherfuckers is wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell only because of, like you said, religion is such a superpower, and we all know that no one religion is the truth. Then
Correct.
why the fuck is religion still powerful as it is? And why is there so
Correct.
many people in it? Like, it should have been
Correct.
somebody to walk away from that shit. And then once that one person walks away from Christianity or Islam, they're walking away to
And they should stop using the
bigger
titles that are
understanding.
taught in those religions too.
Correct. You know,
Right.
like again, we come here, right, to experience life, right? And I know me personally, I've been every religion underneath the sun. I've never been God before. So it's like this to me is something new under the sun because I've been every religion. But have I been God up underneath the sun? No. So I know I'm doing the right thing, brother, for sure.
I ain't never say you was doing the wrong thing, bro. We were arguing about whether or not the word Allah means God. That's what the argument was. That's really what it was.
I know, but
bro.
again, that's what I tell you. Allah and God can't be in the same argument. It's nothing to debate about that.
No. I'm not talking about. You still missing what I was saying, but I'm gonna leave it alone, bro.
No,
I
do.
I'm talking about languages. That's what I'm not talking about God or religion. I'm talking about the word God, bro.
Yeah, but
like the word God. Allah and God mean the same thing.
No, but I could only, like I tried to tell you, man, I can't look at life. If I'm not talking in the experience I live.
Oh, my fault, y'all.
Yeah, he just muted you, King God. What you were saying? If you're not talking in experience that you live. Hey, King God, you were muted. You said if you're not talking in the experience that you live.
Yeah, like I only could speak in my experience, right? Like, so if I'm not speaking in what I became and what is the truth, forget about it. Because I know Allah been here before me. I'm new. I just came here. I just born 1978. So when I look at these religion orders, they've been here way before me.
The word God has been here way before us too.
Before
Like
my
the English
time,
word God.
the
When you put
word
it that
been.
way,
Uh,
when you put it that way, like you just got here for some reason, I feel like anybody that just got here probably know more than somebody that's been here forever because we've been
Absolutely,
programmed.
brother. Absolutely. Because think about it. Everybody in life chose their path. And I know from my surroundings, I was the last to choose. While all the people I grew up around, they chose their destiny. And I was still trying to figure out mine. So I know they're already sunk in the mud. Because if you chose how you want to live, forget about it. Because what you've been taught is so wrong that you gotta retrain yourself again and rethink it, redefine yourself, number one, because how they define you is not who you are. And again, that word that we're living up to, because no man called us, but the word called us. Can we live up to what the word called us to be? How many is doing that? None. They could talk about it, but they have never stepped in the shoes and put on the shoes to walk in this name. I did 44 years.
Would you say? Could you say that religion is an addiction?
Yes, obviously it's just like a drug, right? Anything that controls you is an addiction. Just like we talked, just like this word. I'm addicted to it because I became it. Most people can't stand being around me, especially the past generation that I used to live in. Because remember, my people I outgrew. The people I came around, I outgrew them.
Based off of what though?
Based off because I choose to live like God. So when they're speaking to me, they can't fathom it. How do I think like this? Because no man could have taught me this.
I mean, I hear you, but I still think it's based on perception, bro. Because if you approach a monk or whatever and you talking like that and you living the way you living, he might look at you and say you're not living in truth because you're not living how he's living, or because he believes that
I
he's
know,
living like God.
but that
You know what I'm
monk
saying?
know about me though. I tell you one thing, that monk know about me, and he's gonna be glad to actually sit down and talk to me. I tell you that much.
And you know what's crazy though? He might be. I think you might be right about that.
He's gonna be intrigued. Every scholar, every pastor, every religious leader is gonna be a treat to sit down and talk to me.
Well, I say that based on the melanated portion of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go anywhere and damn near anybody less melanated is going to be automatically kind of like intrigued on what what's what. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, because almost one thing is almost every corner of the earth recognizes black people as being the chosen children of God. So that's what I meant by like if you go to a Japanese person and they would be intrigued based off of that part. However, what their portion of what they know, they can't. They definitely not gonna be moved off of it, especially when they're creating heat with their hands and motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, vibrating and meditating to different levels. Shit, I mean, to be honest, I don't see how Christianity ain't feeling like they missing that big piece of the puzzle when, you know what I'm saying, everything is all. I don't mean like spooky, ghostly or anything like that, but I do mean that that's kind of what they move off of. And then you got people, monks and Buddhists over there that's actually, you know, traveling and transporting themselves to experience different levels of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Like the experience of spirituality in Christianity is a little taboo.
Yeah. But that's in every religion, even the Buddha camp. It's everything is thrown off a little bit. But once they get in this word, they'll be aligned. Tell you that much.
All right, well, last question I got, man. Because you said it's not the Bible, but when I hear people say the word, that's what they be talking about. So when you say the word, where is it coming from? And
like I said, it's coming
what
from
is
God,
it?
man.
Like, is it something you read or something that you feel? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I know where I'm coming from. I come from God, right?
And that's what I'm asking
Even
you.
though that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. When I'm talking about the word, I'm talking about God, where I come from. Another person might look at me and say, "Oh, because you're born in Jamaica, you're a Jamaican," and I tell them every day, "No, I'm not where I'm born. That's not who I am. It's because of the intelligence in me. It's because of the spirit in me, and I know that spirit in me is God. That's the difference between me and everybody in this world. Nobody could tell me what spirit is in me. Only I can do that.
So how can you tell other people what spirit is in them?
I already know that because the same spirit that's in me is in them. This is why I'm able to say all are God. It's a universal truth, though, brother. Way before I was flesh, but I was born with the spirit. This is why I stuck to it. I stuck to it. It grew me. It nurtured me.
Yeah, I agree. And that's why I said, no matter what language you speaking, you saying God. God know who you talking about. It don't. The
Yeah,
religion
but
is not. I'm not talking about the
they're gonna
religion
love
part.
the English language, though, brother. It's so easy to communicate with.
I hate the English language, bro. It's not easy to
I
communicate
know
with.
you do. Trust me, I
It's
already
not.
know you do.
Yeah, it's not. And it's not that I love a different language more. It's just that these humanized constructs, because we're not
Yeah,
saying
and it's not even
man-made.
saying you say humans, but it's not, brother. Like it's the ultimate
All right, so
language
if
that
English is the ultimate language because God created it, who created the other languages? And what's so inferior about them?
no, but again, we always say, right? God was the firstborn, right? But the last to rise, but will establish the earth in truth, because nobody else could have did it, right? Because of confusion. They was already persuaded, just like
But
the
God
reason.
created the confusion, though.
No, again,
All right, so
remember the word.
if humans didn't create language and God did, how did God not create the confusion? Please elaborate.
Because again, humans didn't believe in their attributes. They didn't believe in their divinity. Number one, they didn't believe that they was the life giver. We do. This is why we speak different and talk different, because of that same reason. This is why I can't come in a different name, because it wouldn't work. I watched previous generations do it, and they all failed. I didn't come here
They
to
failed
fail.
because of what they called themselves or because of the actions that they took?
No, because they was not in truth. Again, being in truth is how you will conquer. Because remember, this is a written
The
word. Like,
LGBT community is conquering the fuck out of America right now. But we know they not living in truth. So explain that,
yeah, but
please.
again, that's what I'm saying. But you looking on the
Well, they're
outside,
living in their truth if you ask them.
I know, but that's what, like I try to tell you. If you're looking on the outside, then of course. But remember, where are we living? We don't live on the outside. We live on the inside.
But
We're eternal beings.
exactly.
This is why it
We're
says, "Do
eternal
not be
beings. So why are we limiting ourselves to the English language if we are eternal
because
beings?
again, like I said, you keep saying this is the language I speak, brother. Like again, man,
Exactly. So somebody from
I'm just in a,
Iran, they speak
I'm just, but I
Arabic,
know it,
and it's not the truth, right?
but again, me saying that it's a beautiful thing because I know this is the universal language, not because I say so. It's funny because remember, the power is given, right? Whoever got the power is able to create anything they want to create, right or wrong.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So because I know I got the power, I know the English language will be the dominant language.
I
Because
get what you're saying.
it's the language that I will reach the whole entire world with.
What you were saying, Shawnee? Shawnee?
No, I said I get it's Shanae. But I
Okay.
get what he's saying because think about it. You could go to a bunch of different countries. There's always somebody that speaks English, no matter where you go. But you might not come somewhere and everybody speaks Chinese or everybody speaks Spanish, but you definitely gonna meet a bunch of people that speak English, and like English is the dominant language. Everybody, no matter where they at, they're gonna be taught English.
That's true.
I
But
mean, you know
does
how I
that
know
then
you in
mean
Philly.
that other languages are unable to speak the truth because they speak in other
Wait,
languages?
are you in Philly? Sorry.
No.
Okay. About to say, sound like my cousin over there. I mean, from north side. Anyway, I agree with that though.
Did y'all hear my question?
English.
So my question was, that is true that English is spoken everywhere around the world. But does that mean that if you speak a different language, then you can't speak the truth? Because that's what we keep getting back to. It's like, no, they speak that language, they ain't living in truth. So like how? Like if I'm God and I birthed you in this country where you speak this language, you just cut off from the truth until you meet somebody that speak English?
Better pick up Webster's dictionary, boy. Like it's
And
the Bible.
that's a Christian ideology right there, bro. That's what that is.
I was joking, but that was a testament to what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I'm saying what was said before that. Like, I understand it's the dominant language, it's the language that you're gonna reach people with. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. That's good. But the people that do not speak English, they just automatically damned to forever not knowing the truth. That's the type time Christians be on. If you don't come to God through Jesus, then you can't come to God at all. Like, you see what I mean? That's like it's closed minded again. It's less spiritual and more religious for me. That's what it sounds like. That's all I'm saying. Like these stipulations and these rules, and I got this from a burning bush, and it says if you don't do this, then I won't accept you. What? That's not how God works. God is not even. And then let's touch on the perfectionism, right? God is perfect. That's hilarious to me because perfect is a human concept. What is perfect? What is perfect? Nobody can describe what perfect is because perfect to you is different than perfect to me. We both got different opinions. We both got different preferences. So how can we say that God is perfect?
Being who you are.
God never
perfect,
even said
right?
he was perfect. Being who you are is perfect, right? But you just said that if I say Allah, I'm not living in truth. So that's imperfection, right?
Truly are, right? This is why we have so much confusion in the world. And different names, different titles that man change. Remember, they change words, right?
They changed words, and the English language is brand spanking new, bro. Brand spanking new.
And that's
We
what
spoke
makes
Sanskrit before this.
it so great because again, remember, the old generation ain't gonna change. This is why you see numerous of them is just withering away. The seat that they held to enslave everyone, it's being let up in every generation because what? The old die out, the young are born. What happens when the young gravitate to the truth? They're gonna be living. More people is gonna be living it. And again, like I said, the word is the truth. So if you're living in the word, you have life. If you're living outside of the word, you don't have life. This is what the word says.
I publish books for a living, so I think I'm living in the word. Is anybody talking right now? Because I can't hear nothing.
Yeah, but the moral of the story, we're all called to serve God, right? And worship the truth, right?
I
Right or
mean,
wrong?
no, like worship the truth. That's a like what do we work? Like think about if you're the all knowing being, you created everything. What are you getting out of somebody worshiping you? What are you getting out of that?
Yeah, but you're missing. You again. Remember, who is glorified? You are going to be glorified when you worship the truth, right? So this is why they say you will be glorified with the word. When I say the word, I say God. Anyone is living according to the word is glorified. So you start living up now, and that light is now bright. And every man that come against you, they know the truth. It's just the missing link in the puzzle, brother. Like I tell the judge, I picked up a judge the other day, and I said, man, we don't need you in the courtroom. We need you outside in this world. Because no one is judging anybody outside. But there's only one that could judge, right? But when every human being is judging each other, that's wrong. Because the word has been the great judge from day one.
I will say this. I see that you have not came off King God. I see that throughout the whole narrative, it's been pretty much that you're God. Like we are God. You know what I'm
We
saying?
are, man. I don't
And I
see no nothing else, man. Like I'll be living in an illusion if I looked at you differently. Because I already know what the word says, brother. I'm a believer. So if the word is what created me, and like I tell you, the people that I was born into, they're nothing like me. So it's like, wow, this I'm in the image of God because it's the word I'm in.
so basically saying like when you live in the true nature of God, you damn near can't do no wrong. I mean just now I'm not
Pretty
saying
much.
you know what I'm saying, but like Hitler, you know what I'm saying? Hitler
Yeah,
was
you ain't gonna do it. Yeah, you ain't gonna do it.
yeah, he was doing his what he was feeling like he was doing that was right. And then when you do your research on Hitler, Hitler was on some shit like, nah, America's the motherfucking evil motherfuckers. They the ones who took the children of Judah, which is us. They're black people. You know what I'm saying? Lack of a better word, black people. So, in Adolf's mind, in his mind, he was serving God. You know what I'm saying? And in a sense, he I don't know, man, he living in his own heaven. If he did die, you know what I'm saying? He living in his own heaven because he feel like he fulfilled the word of God. And who knows what God's word for you is.
I just know me, being an observer and me coming into this world of mankind, I know every human being is influenced by another man. Like everybody looks up to somebody, right? Someone they idolize or say, damn, that person's good. Because you can see it in social media, who gets more watch times and everything. But how many people could be influenced by God if they can't see one or know what that is? No one. So they're going to keep doing what they've been doing. But I know a time like this where it's so much that's happening, and believe it or not, people want to do the right things. They've been wanted that from day one because our nature is not to do wrong. It's what's been feeding us. We live according to the influence of society or the world, or to dominate in a manly way. Because remember, men are men, gods are gods. I can't see a man being God if he thinks he's a man. It's not going to happen. The only way a man will become a god is when he realizes that he's a god. He won't be a man no more. Vice versa for a woman. If we don't transform, there's not much we're going to do in this life. We're going to be doing the same thing every other generation has been doing.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. If you got to be the change you want to see, and
You
it
got
seems like
exactly.
we've learned so much over the course of time. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I don't mean what we've been taught. I mean just the fact that a lot of religions are more so controlling and financial gang members.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I didn't say gang members, even though you might put it that way, because a lot of Christians and folks they gang.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. They
So
crucify the people, brother.
with all this that we've learned, we haven't really seen too many leaps and bounds as far as the depth of spirituality and who God is, and how do we get closer to Him, and a lot of people close their minds off because when they start getting to a scientific side of things, and that I use that word kind of loosely, but when I say scientific, I'm speaking of the Big Bang. You know what I'm saying? Some people think that's scientific, but who's to say that God didn't manifest the bang in order to happen? There's physics. If we're spiritual beings having a physical experience, then you got to understand the correlation of the two. You know what I'm saying? Because God is a spiritual being, so why wouldn't He be able to do physical events, if that makes any sense?
No, it makes
Why
a
would
whole
I
lot of
have
sense.
why would I have one name if I created billions of stars, planets, people, living things? Why would I have one name? That's all. That's my thing. Like, why would I have one name? Like, I got 5 children, and all of my, not all 5 of them, but even my children call me different names, and that's only 5. That's only 5. So why would I have one name if I created countless beings? Like, that don't even make sense. Be logical.
Yeah, I can't go in the room with Merch, because Merch don't want to get out of that bucket, boy.
He's just challenging you. He's just challenging you.
Yeah, but like I said, he's wasted his breath. You know what I mean? Because again, like I'm not gonna go around the truth, brother. Like,
Yeah, the
like,
truth to you might not be the truth to others, though. So,
I
like,
know,
when
but
I
you
so
know,
when
you
I
know
say
what's
so
so
when I say
beautiful,
my
though?
truth, you can't say, hey,
Just-
that's not the truth.
Yeah,
It's not
just
say
like
that's not the truth to me. Say it to me, because when I say that's not the truth, talking about what you say, I don't say it as if like, oh, nothing else exists but what I said. You see what I'm
But
saying?
just like what this says, are you in control? I'm in control of the word. That's why I can't go around it. I will establish this word, brother.
You in control of your word, not mine.
Like again, man, I'm just trying to tell you what I'm telling you today. No one is defending, brother. I'm the defender of the faith because I am that faith. So I don't.
My bad. Continue, King.
Oh, I'm so sorry, brother. It looked like I didn't put on a speaker. Like I said, just like what the room says, are you in control? Yes, I'm in control of the word because that gave me power. So again, you could say what you want to say. That's why I said I leave you in that bucket because I know what I have to do.
All right. Well,
I feel
with that
exactly the
being said,
same,
just
bro.
a quick intermission. I want to just welcome the writer down there, Damian Lynn Love, Essential. Welcome to the room. I want to encourage everybody to follow everybody. If you haven't, a lot we on this platform, this base, and you have opportunity to make money. So I think everybody should follow everybody that's in this group. I always encourage that. I'll give y'all a minute to do that. Also, the writer's got something to say. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in.
Come true, right?
Can you hear me now? The right. My bad. I got you. Yeah, I can hear you. What you got?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, blessings. Sorry about that. The app was crashing on me last night, so I wasn't sure. Well, I just want to say I concur with everything that's being said so far. One of the things that's a core in my belief is that everything is all connected. You know, your purpose, your faith, your belief, your nationality, your rationality, everything is all one. So I'm a self-published author, writer, editor, and part of my journey the past couple of years was reconnecting to my purpose, reconnecting to
As a woman in America who also lives,
reconnecting to what I do best, and reconnecting to God. You know, and the person before said it best. I think that we are all the ones who are in control because one of the first rules we always learn is it's not about the situation you're in, it's your reaction to it that determines your success or failure.
Damn.
And for me as a writer, um, I'm working on a book series called Pine Cones and Spaceships. You can find it on Amazon. That's one of the reasons I'm here on this platform to promote the book and also my developmental editor services. You know, so if you have a book idea, I can help you bring it from 0 to 100, or at least give you some guidance in the self-publishing arena. You know, and my book number 5 is called God's First Pen. And for me, it's about, yeah, I'm a gospel rapper, Christian poet, but at the same time, the gifts and abilities you have, they have to be for a purpose. And for me, I believe that purpose is to advance and build God's kingdom. Now, not in terms of the crusade or in terms of a holy jihad or whatever the case may be, but the primary precept in the Bible is treat your neighbor as yourself. And the second one is love God above all else. Now, it's as simple as that, and being able to embrace and love everyone, love up on everyone, and at the same time, have God first in your life is super important. And for me as a writer, I believe that the word that was in the beginning, that gave creation life and gave people life, that's the word that's within us. And it comes out in different aspects, dance, building stuff, making things. And for me, it's about writing in the pen. So one of the main things I realize is that a lot of folks don't know or can't relate to having what I call a practical Christianity. Not a Christianity of a mental aspect or a Christianity of your culture, but a Christianity of your personal being. And although I say Christianity, I adhere to, different practices, so I'll meditate, and I'll do different things like that. However, at the end of it all, if Jesus is the Savior, and if Christianity is the only religion that dictates that this is what you do to live well here and in the afterlife, then that's something that we all have to, on some level, reconcile with. And a quick side note, I always find it, as a gospel rapper and a Christian poet, humorous when some of my church folks have a problem with so-called secular or non-practicing musicians and artists acknowledging God when they grab their Grammys or their awards and Oscars, and you'll be surprised how many debates happen in the church background about that. But for me, it's pretty simple. Everyone has to acknowledge on some level for themselves, and everyone is a work in progress. No one's perfect. And I would rather, and that's why I supported Kanye West when he did the whole church Christian album thing. I'd rather you try or explore and learn more about your faith and yourself, as opposed to you just give up and say, you know what, I'm just going to be a club hopper, or I'm just going to do whatever ratchet music I want to do forever without giving a care. So that's just my one take. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the room and how everyone is able to use Fanbase. This app is so powerful and it's so cool that I'm really glad that I was watching the 85 South show when they mentioned about Fanbase and some other apps like this. Of all you guys' time, but I appreciate everyone. And you can follow my page. I have a Amazon author's profile page also. I'm working on a book now, so just reach out to me if you're working on your own project or you want to get some insight in the self-publishing book industry. Blessings.
Yeah, man, big respect, brother. Sharing in your thoughts on things.
Peace. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. So, I wanted to ask you a question. The right, it's the right?
It's correct.
All right, so because we kind of got to the subject of God with all the variables that you see up top, which is control, addiction, and purpose, and it kind of seemed like a lot of those things kind of equated to God, being that religion has a certain type of addiction to it, which each religion or person has their purpose, and the question of who is in control kind of led up to to God, which the king pretty much explained that, yeah, you're in control because you are God. You know what I'm saying? Instead of kind of throwing it to the big guy in the sky.
Exactly.
Um, and I wanted to ask you, what would you say is maybe like your top two addictions? And everybody's been pretty open, man. We've heard drugs. We've heard a cell phone addiction. We've heard even addiction to religion, all types of addictions, man. And sometimes I feel like we don't even know an addiction unless we hear about it. I'm like, oh shit, I do that same shit, or what I'm saying, we actually just kind of bring it to a forefront. So my first question is, what would you say an addiction is, maybe for you, or you think as a race?
Number one, of course, is procrastination. Um, like for example, I've been working on a Father's Day book dedicated to my daughters. Obviously, Father's Day has passed, and I was never able to publish the book or bring it out. And a lot of different things happen. Life happens, of course, but I do know because I keep a mental track that I probably lost about 20 hours just watching shows or not actively working on the book. So procrastination is number one, and that's tied in with organization and being able to have discipline to commit to a particular moment or particular project. And then the second thing for me personally, um, I don't know if it's the same for anyone else, but I'm such a perfectionist. Sometimes I get caught up in making plans and not executing them. It might be tied into the procrastination part of it, but it's also something where, that's one of the reasons why for me working within a team is great, and I'm a great people person, but I can't stand stupidity, if I can put it as blunt as that. Like I believe I'm well spoken, so if I say something one time, I expect my teammates to be agree or provide an alternate or to go along with the plan. Not me having to repeat myself or illustrate certain examples over and over again. So that's definitely something that, I feel like if habit or if it's something where you find yourself doing it all the time, then there's a problem. So procrastination definitely number one because, you know, we can lie to ourselves and be like, oh, I'm just not feeling it today, or I don't want to write today, or whatever the case. But that's slowing down the process. Especially when you put in mind that God's on His good time and He'll like this today, whatever. But that leads me to one of my favorite jokes slash stories. It's very popular. I'm sure you must have heard it before, where there's a guy drowning in the ocean, and he prayed to God for help, and a dolphin swims by and stops, and he looks at the dolphin and he kicks it away. Then a small boat comes by, and people there look down at him and say, "Hey, you okay?" And he's like, "No, I'm fine. Waiting for God to come and help me." And then like a big cruise liner passed by, and they stop and say, "Hey, you want to throw you a raft or something?" He's like, "No, I'm waiting for God." And then he drowns, and he goes to heaven, and he says, "Hey, God, what happened? I was drowning. I prayed, and he never showed up." And then God says, "Well, I sent a dolphin, a small boat, and a cruise liner. Like, what more do you want from me?" So I kind of feel like that's what it's like. You have to be able to go out and sell, but you have to choose, what you try to accomplish for that particular day.
All right. Well, what? Bro, I'm a tourist, bro. You sound like me all day. You sound like a straight up tourist, bro. I'm sorry, but That's
I'm
the
a
exact.
Taurus too.
Oh yeah, I peep that girl, Taurus Nation, fellow Taurian queen. I see. Yeah, I just had a birthday.
Also, Taurus, like it's the best zodiac sign whenever Capricorns rock. Capricorns rock and Capricorns rule. Y'all 11 other zodiac signs could be fine. I could be a little, petty with it, but Capricorns are the best sign under the sun. Stay with me.
He about to start it. He about to pop it off. So he about to pop off a whole nother goddamn title.
Beef out when it comes to zodiac signs, because I just find it so fun and so cool, especially as a Christian, because I believe the zodiac signs play some part in your disposition. Of
You
course, you
gotta
have
look
your
at the
environment,
whole natal chart though. It ain't just the sun. It's the sun, the moon. It's all of that.
everything, and of course the Chinese zodiac. Don't forget about what they've done with their research and so forth. So it's all tied in together. But yeah, I'll start beef in a minute.
So to speak on what you were saying about the procrastination and what was the other one? It was procrastination and
Basically everything we talked about in the other room earlier. Procrastination and
perfectionism. They're trying to be perfect, before you make a step. You try to, over plan and try to make sure it's precise because that's in your nature.
yeah, that's what Tauruses do. Hey Rod, you muted if you talking, bro.
oh shit. I was saying that we serve a perfect God. So we're supposed to strive for perfection, or at least we're made in His image. So I understand how communicating when you say something and expecting it to be understood and heard can be a little frustrating when you know you're speaking the same language as somebody else. So I definitely understand that, and that part of procrastination, man, I had spoke on that because I was one of my tactics is actually just to do it, and that perfectionist part, man, I'll be done miss the whole goddamn event because I was trying to make something perfect for that event, and my cure was to just so I got a couple of platforms, right, and this is just the system that I've come up with that I've learned from because it has to come from you. Everything is tailored to you. So I got a couple of platforms. I got a like page. I got a group page. I got, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that, right? So what I'll do is when I create a piece of content, I'll drop it on my like page, and then I might see something and be like, damn, I need to add another word here, or I need to do this. And instead of deleting it or anything like that, or feeling like I wasted time, I'll revamp it and then put it on Instagram. And I might see something on Instagram like, damn, I could have made it like that a little bit better. And I'll add additional so either way I'm growing and it's alive. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's alive can grow. So I brought my idea to life, and knowing that the variable of growing is imminent, like I made it grow. You know what I'm saying? So I really suggest that maybe you should have like a platform to beta test. And it's not even a real beta test. It's just knowing that you dropped it. And then once you drop it and you get like 50 likes and 1,000 views, you're going to be thinking like, shit. Either one, you're going to be thinking, damn, I could have got 2 million views if I'd have did this. Or you're going to think, all right, so I'm that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's all dealing with having confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized it wasn't just my professionalism; it was my confidence. You know, I'm not confident this is gonna reach the people it needs to reach because, you know what I'm saying? There's too many words on it, or somebody's not gonna get it because there's not enough words on it. You know what I'm saying? When in actuality, the world just needs to know what they need to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? They got to hear that idea. They need to have some spark in their brain that's gonna make them come back and get another dose. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to procrastination, I would say, really, man, charge yourself with the responsibility of knowing the world has to hear what you have to say. They need a breadcrumb. You know what I'm saying? They need that. So yeah, bro, like when you put that responsibility on yourself, it kind of gives you power. It's like that formula: with great power comes great responsibility. If that's a formula, then if you could up your responsibility, power is going to come. You feel what I'm saying? So shit. That was my cure for procrastination, and I'm still working on myself with that too. Cause and then the purpose was what helped me with my procrastination. Cause it's like whatever my purpose is, it's not going to get done if I have that procrastination in the midst of it. It don't matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Procrastinating to go to sleep, you ain't gonna go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So my purpose is to get rest. So I that overcomes my procrastination. Cause shit, if I think about how bad it's gonna be for me tomorrow if I don't get no sleep, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I think about my purpose to help procrastination, and pretty much all those variables up top. It keeps me in control, and it keeps me addicted to my goal. So yeah, I definitely feel you on it, and I hope that helps a little bit.
Definitely, I appreciate that.
Monifa, we never asked you what your addiction is. It could be shopping. It could be whatever.
Um, well, um, I know smoking, but I try to limit myself to maybe one or like 1.5 a day or something like that. Um, Shopping could be one, but I know how to control it for a certain amount of time, and then when I start spending, I just spend a lot, and you know, um, that should be about it.
How do you
Overeating, I overeat a lot too.
well out of those what you named? How do you curb your top addiction? Like how do you curb? Because you might say something that or how do you work